Well, I was out and about exploring once again when I stumbled across both Flins and Ineffa. What are you two looking at?
Repairs complete. It was just an old circuit, nothing serious.
Such remarkable efficiency, Miss Ineffa. If it weren't for you, this streetlight would have had me stumped. If it had proven beyond fixing, I may have had to take my own lantern and hang it in its place.
Luckily, things didn't get to that point. And besides, you wouldn't have needed to go that far. That lantern is something special to you, after all. Would you really have been alright with simply leaving it as a street lamp?
Aino previously proposed a solution. She said she could train the Ratniki so they'd have the basic knowledge to perform simple tasks, like repairing circuits. That way, you wouldn't need to inform Aino every time a streetlight goes out and then wait in the dark until I arrive to repair it.
The Ratniki are responsible for fixing the lights, are they?
Yes and no. Strictly speaking, maintaining the brightness of the lights has been their traditional role. Before the use of Kuvaki became widespread, the streetlights were powered by regular oil. Back then, people were needed to light and extinguish the flames. Because of how dangerous said streets were at night, the Ratniki took on this role. They already carried lanterns, in any case, and were adept at using them while fighting. But as I'm sure you've already noticed, the current streetlights are powered by Kuvaki, and it's not so easy to light or extinguish them using traditional means. Because of this, whenever a light goes out nowadays, all I can do is stand here helplessly and wait for a professional to come along and solve the problem.
Why don't you let Aino give you some training? Have you not arranged to have classes?
Aino organized an engineering seminar, but all the Ratniki made excuses to leave halfway through. They said things like, I have an urgent task, or I need to go on patrol, or it's time for me to make a report.
I didn't leave. It is, after all, disrespectful to the host to leave a seminar early.
True, but the biscuits you brought were too much of a distraction for Aino. She stopped teaching completely. And then I was so busy trying to stop her from eating that I could not take over the seminar.
I see.
So please, the next time you attend a class of any kind, don't bring anything sweet that might attract Aino's attention. And don't bring any toys either.
I promise I won't.
Please say it in full. The last time you promised not to bring anything sweet, you brought a toy, and Aino was completely unable to continue.
I promise I won't bring anything sweet, any toys, or anything else that might unduly divert Miss Aino's attention.
That's better. I'll notify you when she next holds an engineering class. For now, I have to pick some laka berries for her. Goodbye.
Traveler, do you know of anything else besides sweet treats, toys, and small fluffy animals that might keep Miss Aino quiet for a while? Half an hour shall suffice.
I think you'd be better off studying. Well, if you can't take any items, why not try bringing a companion instead?
A companion? Oh, that is inspired. Perhaps I should ask Miss Neffer if she can send Miss Yehoda to accompany me.
Just don't say it was me who gave you the idea.
Naturally. The only reason I wish to ask Miss Yehoda to attend is that if I am to swim in the great ocean of knowledge, I'd very much like someone else to enjoy Miss Aino's educational ablutions. Considering the strength of Miss Yehoda's relationship with the two of you, I believe she would be the perfect candidate to go with me.
I half expected you to actually suggest Neffer come with you instead. And I was, for a moment, wondering if that was actually... well, simply put, Flins, more or less suggesting a date with Neffer. Which would have been an interesting thing, would it not? But alas, he asked for Yehoda instead, and Yehoda certainly seems too young for Flins. And too young in more ways than one at that. After all, Flins looks to be adult, and is a several thousand-year-old fae. Whereas Yehoda is, what, 15, if that? And she's still... I'd say still in teenage adolescent years. Not fully developed yet. At least she doesn't seem to be. And we have another familiar face. Miss Yanfei. I wonder what legal matter draws you here to not Krai, where the law has little sway. Yanfei, long time no see.
Well, well, if it isn't the Traveler. It's been a while for sure. Didn't expect to see you and not Krai.
So what brings you here? I don't suppose you're here to give some legal assistance?
Oh, if only. Not Krai's even more lawless than I could have imagined. How should I put it? Well, that's just it. This place is quite literally a lawless land. Even if I was hired to provide legal assistance, I suspect it'd all devolve into everyone resorting to the Final Defense Manifesto to air their grievances.
A Final Defense Manifesto? What now?
Ta-da! Here's your answer. The most direct method of self-defense.
Oh, so that's why it's a manifesto. Oh god, that was an awful pun. I am sorry for even reading that aloud. Ugh.
Okay, enough of that. The reason I came to Nod Krai is to gather material for the new legal guidebook I'm co-authoring with Shinobu. The book's theme centers on the borders of law, and one of its chapters is about what happens when law and order completely breaks down. There's no way I'd be able to get an accurate picture of that back in Liyue. So here I am, this infamous land of lawlessness. As soon as I stepped into Nod Krai, I knew I was in the right place. It's not like the law here has broken down. It's more like it never existed at all. And unsurprisingly, I haven't run into a single person in my line of work. Being a legal consultant here is probably an easy way to starve.
Are you on your own? That seems a tad dangerous. And I don't much care for the idea of having to slaughter an entire gang if anyone laid hands on you. Or to tear Nasha Town up from the roots to find anyone who laid hands on you, Yanfei. So, I do hope you're not alone.
Hey, don't worry. I've got Adeptus blood, remember? Ordinary bandits can't even scratch me. In fact, I'm kind of waiting for someone to come and accost me. Then I can drag them aside and interview them on how they survive in such a hostile place.
I don't expect Madame Ping would agree to this. I thought she'd give you something to defend yourself with instead. No, I don't actually see the connection there. Let's go with part 1.
Yeah, you have no idea. I spent so long convincing her to let me leave. I'm sure my horns grew out a little.
Wait a moment. Yanfei, you did talk this through with Madame Ping, yes?
Why, yes, we talked it through. I definitely did.
And she definitely said yes, right?
Yes? Yeah. Granny just loves me to bits, you know, and we spoke for ages. Anyway, I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got an appointment with, the Curatorium of Secrets, that's it. So, without further ado, I'll be getting a move on.
Yanfei, that might not... And she's...
See you! Bye!
And she's gone. I suppose this is Yanfei entering her rebellious teenage phase. Only took her 100 years. Although frankly, I don't actually know how old Yanfei really is. I know she's older than she looks. Again, Adeptus and all, but... Now we have to visit Neffer, who should be somewhere around here. Yep, I'm standing right almost on top of her icon, but... Definitely got away from her there. Oh, maybe she's in the flagship. Yeah, that looks to be the answer. Yeah, considering Yanfei being an Adeptus and all, or part Adeptus, I wonder what would actually be the fallout of someone here in Krai laying hands on her. Oh. Yelan and Neffer. I'd heard rumors about this. Well, well.
A base of dandelion wine, aged for 25 years. 1/7 part bittersweet liqueur, filled halfway with fizzy zaytun peach pop.
All three of those ingredients are fairly sugary. It'll have a lovely sweet aftertaste, even a little too cloying. A spoonful of salt and half a spoon of powdered summer orchid leaf should cut through the sweetness in a way that's clear but not overpowering.
I can imagine it now. A delightfully layered flavor.
It's all down to the seasonings you sent me, Lady Neffer. Otherwise, I'd have no idea how to mix up a cocktail that so befits Krai.
Just a little gift. I'm glad you liked it. I'll be happy to send more when you run out.
Many thanks. Though I think one taste is enough where these seasonings are concerned. Besides, you sent so much I could hardly finish it by my lonesome. And my colleagues aren't accustomed to these flavors, so I can't even share around. I'm afraid they'll end up sitting on a shelf, going to waste.
Can't say I'm surprised your colleagues at Liyue's Ministry of Civil Affairs aren't too keen. I wouldn't expect the flavors of Krai to be their cup of tea. Though, from what I've seen, might I presume that we've won you over?
I wouldn't go that far, though it's not like I dislike the food here. It's good to try new things occasionally.
Neffer and Yelan. Are they discussing something secret? I'd better steer clear just in case I end up causing trouble. I wonder which one of these would actually make a difference. We'll just go with the first one to see what happens.
I love your attitude. You'd make a great businesswoman. It would be nice if everyone from the Ministry of Civil Affairs were like you.
Come on now, are we going to do this song and dance every time I drop by? Stop fixating on the Ministry. Never mind them. Have you managed to carve out a single foothold in Liyue after all these years?
You know what they say over there. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. If I don't test the waters, how will I ever know?
Don't waste your energy. No matter how long those claws of yours are, you're never getting them stuck into Liyue.
Is that a warning?
It's advice.
Long claws, you say? I wouldn't think myself so formidable. There's barely a handful of people I have any influence over at all. I can only really think of one young girl who listens to what I say. But she's not the brightest. And I spend more time looking after her than getting any help.
Oh, really? Then I guess that painter who fishes in Dihua Marsh, and that apprentice who makes tofu in Qingsa Village, and that guy who wants to work at Wanmin Restaurant. All these people who mysteriously appeared in Liyue. I guess you have no idea who they are?
Many people pass through Liyue Harbor every day. Far too many to count. How could I possibly know every last one of these enigmatic nobodies? Though I must say, your memory is quite impressive. Your colleagues must sleep easily, knowing they have you to lean on.
Why, thank you. Though with you around, nothing is ever easy. I can only say that there's never a boring day.
Is that so? Surely your workload has lightened now that you're far from the Ministry? If you've got time for another drink, I'd be more than happy to mix you one. Here's to a relaxing day for us both.
I see. So the traveler did not get involved in that discussion. Until now. Hello.
Here. Taking a moment to unwind every now and then does wonders for the mind.
I'm in full agreement. Though some strings must remain drawn tight, Lady Neffer. Just in case.
My, how formal you two remain. Then again, I suppose they are both in the spying business, and in the keeping of secrets. So you could argue that they are rivals, and indeed that Neffer may eventually become a genuine threat to Yelan's business, so to speak, and vice versa. I would say the only reason why this has not become a battle between the two is strictly because there's no authority to turn Neffer over to in Krai. And Liyue has no treaty with Krai. There's no government to have a treaty with, after all. So it's not like, well, the shadow fellow from the last event with Yelan. The shadow broker, I thought. Been a while since I've actually looked into that quest again. But yeah, that whole business was in Fontaine. But it did involve goods from Liyue, hence Yelan's involvement. Here, on the other hand, jurisdiction is not so clean. There's no police for Yelan to be working with. My, how complicated that would be, huh? Well, let's see if we can find any other little anecdotes before I sign off. Nothing in Krai. I'm suspecting that the answer will be no, no matter where I look. Still need to wait another couple of days for the new Dodoko event. After all, I want to get through it all the way in one recording session. and therefore I must wait for the point limit to be raised as high as it can be. And alas, there are no other anecdotes available at present. So, I think I'll just end it here. As always, have a good day.